I bought some beetroot from the store because I figure if I want to grow it, I need to figure out how to use it. So I chop it up, I boil it, I put it in some baked goods, and I hope for the best. It looks ugly, I didn't do it great. Guess what? Beetroot is magical, and it is delicious. The only way I've really had beetroot is sliced. I've had that on burgers, on sandwiches, I've had it in salads, but I figured there's got to be more versatility with beetroot. If I'm going to grow it, I figure I need to know how to use it beyond just sliced beetroot. Those cans have been in my pantry for probably a couple of years, so obviously we're not going through enough of it that it's worth putting up heaps and heaps of sliced beetroot. I didn't grow up eating a lot of beetroot, but I love how pretty the color is. It's a little bit, earthy tasting raw. It's beautiful. It stains everything, but I've heard it's really nice in baked goods. So my thought process for today is that I am going to chop it up. I'm going to boil it, mash it up, and I'm going to use beetroot puree to make something really, really tasty. Now, I've never cooked with beetroot before. I've never boiled it, I've never mashed it up and made a puree, and I 100% did it wrong. So as you can see, I did not chop it up very thin. My advice, really chop it up. The way to make puree, according to what I saw online, was to boil it and then let it get really soft before you blend it up. I did not chop it thin enough, and I did not boil it long enough. So learn from my mistakes and try and really let it go. I think because it's such a dense root vegetable, it does take a little bit of time, and I just got impatient. Even though I didn't chop it up and boil it for as long as it needed, I can say that flavor-wise, it still tasted really good. So it wasn't the end of the world, but it definitely made things a little bit more difficult for me. So once it was chopped up, I covered it with water and I let it boil. And of course, I did not let it boil long enough. So it looks really good, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely going for it. Pierced it with a fork, it was really soft. I should have let it go softer. But anyways, here I am, scooping it out and putting it into my food processor. As you can see, it's still really hot. I wish I could go back in time and just let myself boil it longer, because as you can see, it kind of looks a little bit like jelly, like mushed up jelly. That is not puree. It doesn't look right. I knew it didn't look right. I didn't know what to do, so I decided to bake with it anyway. I am making beetroot cinnamon rolls. I've heard beetroot really adds a nice deep depth of flavor when it comes to things, so I'm testing out just a normal sweet bun recipe, and I'm adding the beetroot puree to it. So I will link that recipe in the description below so you can make it if you feel like it. And my advice is to really make sure that you put your beetroot in the boil, that you boil your beetroot for long enough, because if you don't boil that beetroot, it's going to look a little bit funky. It's going to taste delicious, but it's still going to look really odd. Now, I've never done this recipe before. I know a lot of people will do these really nice recipes and it looks beautiful and it looks gorgeous, but this is literally me doing it on the fly. I'd really appreciate it too if you would like, subscribe, comment on this video. I'm just doing the best I can, and it's very raw and it's very me, but I really hope that you will enjoy it and that you will support me. I've got all of the ingredients in this bowl, and I tried to mix it with this spatula. It was not going to work like that. So into the KitchenAid it goes, and I let this mix for quite some time. Now, this is where you can really see where I didn't puree it properly, because while it definitely goes pink, and it's very pretty actually, I really liked it, there's like chunks of beetroot and everything. So this is me just rolling it out. I'm adding more flour to it because I felt it was a little bit sticky. I like to do this, and then after this I let it proof for about an hour until it doubled in size. While it was rising, I just made my simple cinnamon sugar. It's really straightforward. I buttered it after I rolled it out. This is a dairy-free recipe because my husband's dairy-free, and then I just sprinkled it on. I know some people combine the butter and the brown sugar mixture, but I just find it easier to do it this way. And then I roll it up and I slice it down until I'm pretty happy with it, and I put it in a pan and let it do. I only let it rise for about half an hour after this. So this is what it looks like after that half hour. As you can see, maybe it was just a bit warm. It does look like this. Look at this swirl. It looks really nice. This is it out of the oven. And yes, see this? I left it in the oven for too long. Those tops don't look great, but here's a secret. Cover it with your cream cheese frosting. Look at that. This is not dairy free. This icing's definitely got that cream cheese in it. It was absolutely delicious. Doesn't keep that pink color, but you know what? Yum. I would definitely make this again.